Time is the currency of success, and your mornings are the richest hours you own. How you spend those hours defines your financial destiny. When I look back at my own journey, I realize that learning how to invest my time wisely, especially in those early hours, was the turning point. It's what transformed my life from one of scarcity into one of abundance. You see, many people look at millionaires and think it's all about money. But I want to tell you it's much deeper than that. What separates the wealthy from the poor is not just money, it's the ritual of preparation. Millionaires build themselves in the unseen hours before the world awakes. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you took those first hours of the day seriously. What if you committed to sharpening your mind, strengthening your attitude, and laying down the bricks of your future financial freedom every morning? These small, consistent rituals add up. They transform your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from doubt to confidence, from fear to freedom. Today, I want to teach you those rituals. I want to show you the simple yet powerful daily habits that I use to break free from scarcity and build lasting wealth. Don't start your day until you've finished it in your mind. This simple but profound advice has been a cornerstone in shaping a life of success and abundance. Before you leap out of bed and rush into the noise and chaos that often consume our mornings, take a moment to envision how your day will unfold. Wealth doesn't begin with money. It begins in the mind. It starts with mental clarity, with a focused and intentional approach to the hours ahead. If you want to change your financial life, your success begins long before the first dollar is earned. It begins with purposeful thinking. Every morning I carve out 10 to 15 minutes for this sacred ritual. I sit quietly and reflect on what I want to accomplish. I ask myself, what are the top 3 things I must do today to move closer to financial independence? Not vague wishes or scattered hopes, but clear, concrete goals that push me forward. When you decide in advance what you will prioritize, you create a roadmap that directs your energy and time toward meaningful progress. I've seen too many people start their day without this clarity. They wake up and get caught in the endless tide of distractions, emails, social media, unimportant tasks, and by evening, they wonder why their dreams still seem so far away. It's like setting sail without a compass. When you fail to plan, you inadvertently plan to fail. The difference between those who reach wealth and those who remain stuck in scarcity often lies in this small but powerful daily habit, starting with purpose. Let me share an example from my own life. Years ago, when I was still struggling to break through financial barriers, I began practicing this ritual. Each morning, I would write down my top 3 goals for the day. One morning, my goals were simple. Call 3 potential clients, finish reading a chapter in a book on personal development, and review my monthly budget. These goals kept me grounded and focused. They weren't lofty or overwhelming, but each action was a deliberate step forward. Over time, these small daily decisions compounded. Calling those clients built relationships and opened doors. The reading expanded my mindset and sharpened my skills. Reviewing my budget helped me control my expenses and begin saving. None of these things were grand gestures, but together they formed a powerful momentum toward financial freedom. That momentum came from having a clear purpose every morning, deciding exactly how I wanted to move closer to my goals before the day even started. Purposeful thinking is not just about task management, it's about mindset. When you visualize your day and set your intentions, you create a mental blueprint for success. Your brain begins to align itself with the outcome you desire. This alignment makes you more alert to opportunities and more resilient in the face of setbacks. Your morning ritual becomes a declaration to yourself. I am in control of my day. I am committed to my success. This clarity also protects you from being tossed about by circumstances beyond your control. Life will always throw distractions and challenges your way, but when your purpose is strong, you can steer through the storm with confidence. It's like a lighthouse guiding a ship safely to shore. Without that guiding light, you drift aimlessly. So, I encourage you to start each day not by reacting to whatever comes first, but by intentionally deciding how you will spend your precious time. Write down your top 3 priorities. Ask yourself how each task will bring you closer to your financial goals. Remember, wealth isn't an accident. It's the natural result of purposeful action taken consistently over time. Begin your mornings with purpose and watch how your life transforms. That clarity, that intentionality, is the soil in which financial success grows. Without it, the seeds of opportunity fall on rocky ground and fail to take root. With it, your day unfolds as a carefully crafted journey toward abundance and freedom. Start your day with purpose and the rest will follow. Learn to be thankful for what you have while you pursue all that you want. This is one of the most powerful lessons I have learned on my journey from scarcity to success. When you live with a mindset of scarcity, you are constantly focused on what you lack, what you don't have, what you fear losing, and what might never come. That scarcity breeds fear, anxiety, and hesitation, which suffocate your ability to take bold action. But when you practice gratitude, something remarkable happens. Your mindset shifts from limitation to abundance. Gratitude is not just a polite habit or a fleeting feeling. It's a profound art that rewires your thinking in your life. It trains your mind to see opportunities rather than obstacles, to appreciate progress rather than focus on setbacks, and to celebrate growth rather than mourn what hasn't yet arrived. This simple daily practice of giving thanks creates a fertile ground for success because when you feel rich in your mind, you begin to act rich in your life. Each morning, I take a moment to write down 3 things I am grateful for. It might be the opportunity to learn something new, a conversation that challenged my thinking, or the growth I see in myself or others around me. These aren't grand or extravagant things. They are often small, everyday blessings that remind me how much I already have to build upon. Starting the day with gratitude centers my mind and sets a tone of abundance for everything that follows. When you write down what you're grateful for, especially related to opportunities and growth, you begin to notice more of those opportunities throughout your day. Gratitude sharpens your awareness and opens your eyes to the hidden gifts life offers. Instead of seeing problems, you see lesson. Instead of feeling deprived, you feel empowered. This shift in perspective is the difference between someone who is stuck in scarcity and someone who is moving steadily toward wealth. In my own experience, I found that cultivating gratitude was essential to overcoming periods of financial struggle. Early in my career, there were times when money was tight and the future seemed uncertain. But each morning, I made it a point to be thankful for what I had the chance to wake up healthy, the support of mentors and friends, the ability to learn and improve. This daily practice didn't magically fill my bank account overnight, but it transformed how I saw my circumstances. Instead of feeling defeated by scarcity, I felt energized by possibility. That energy fueled my persistence and creativity, and over time, it led me out of scarcity and into financial abundance. Gratitude also softens your heart and mind. It removes the harshness of envy, comparison, and resentment, which are toxic to progress. When you appreciate your own journey, you stop wasting time and energy trying to be someone else. You begin to focus on becoming the best version of yourself, which is the true path to wealth. This practice can also inspire generosity. When you recognize how much you have, you naturally want to share it with others. Generosity creates a cycle of giving and receiving that enriches your life in ways that money alone cannot. In this way, gratitude becomes not just a personal tool, but a powerful force for building meaningful relationships and community. So, as you begin each day, pause and ask yourself, what am I truly grateful for right now? Write it down. Feel it deeply. Let it transform your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you cultivate gratitude daily, you reprogram your mind to attract wealth, not just in dollars, but in joy, opportunity, and fulfillment. Gratitude is the foundation on which abundance is built. Practice it and watch how it changes not only your outlook, but your entire life. If you want to build wealth and move from scarcity to abundance, one of the most critical habits you must develop is learning how to plan your money before spending it. Money, like time, has a way of slipping through your fingers if you don't take control of it. The truth is, if you don't tell your money where to go, it will find its own way to disappear. This isn't just a clever phrase. It's a reality I've lived and observed countless times. Planning your money is not about restriction, it's about empowerment. Early in my life, I learned this the hard way. I remember times when I would earn money but have little to show for it at the end of the month. I was working hard but constantly feeling like I was one step behind financially. The reason wasn't lack of income, it was lack of planning. Money is a tool, and if you don't wield it with intention, it will control you rather than serve you. The foundation of financial success starts with a budgeta, clear, intentional plan for every dollar that comes into your hands. A budget isn't a punishment, it's a map that shows you where your money is going and ensures that your spending aligns with your priorities and goals. When you sit down at the beginning of each month and allocate your income to specific categories, whether it's savings, bills, investments, or discretionary spending, you take back control. You become the master of your money rather than its slave. Think of it this way. Money is energy, and energy follows intention. When you assign a purpose to every dollar, you give it direction and meaning. That direction can be toward building wealth, paying down debt, investing in your future, or enjoying life responsibly. Without a plan, money tends to wander aimlessly, tempting you to spend impulsively, often on things that don't add lasting value. In my journey, I found that the discipline of budgeting gave me peace of mind. It removed the chaos and uncertainty from my finances. Instead of wondering if I had enough money to cover the bills or make investments, I had clarity. That clarity allowed me to make smarter decisions and seize opportunities without fear or hesitation. Planning your money is also a form of self-respect. It shows that you value your resources and are committed to using them wisely. This discipline is not just for the wealthy. It's for anyone who wants to improve their financial situation. It doesn't matter how much you make. What matters is how you manage what you have. When you create a budget, start with your essentials: housing, utilities, food, transportation, then allocate funds for savings and debt repayment. Finally, budget for discretionary expenses, but do so with limits. This way, you prioritize building financial security and wealth while still allowing yourself room to enjoy life. Over time, this habit creates momentum. You build savings, reduce stress, and create a foundation that allows you to take bigger financial steps. You begin to see money not as a source of worry, but as a powerful tool that works for you. Remember, wealth isn't just about how much money you bring in, it's about how much you keep and grow. The budget is the plan that protects your hard-earned money and directs it toward your financial independence. So, take time this month to plan your money before spending it. Make a monthly budget. Assign every dollar a purpose. This simple act of planning is power. It's the difference between watching money slip away and making it work for you. Control your money, and you control your future. Before you sit down to nourish your body, it's essential to first feed your mind. This principle has been a cornerstone of my journey from scarcity to success. I've often said, miss a meal, but don't miss your reading. There's incredible power in dedicating time every morning to expanding your knowledge, especially around topics that shape your future wealth. Leadership, personal growth. This daily ritual is not just about accumulating information, it's about transforming your thinking. And as your thinking grows, so does your capacity for wealth. I remember the early days when my financial situation was uncertain and opportunities seemed scarce. What changed everything wasn't just the money I earned or the hard work I put in it, was the ideas I fed my mind. I made it a habit to read at least 20 minutes every morning before the day's tasks pulled me away. Those moments sitting quietly with a book or listening to a recording were investments in my mental capital. Over time, those small daily doses of wisdom rewired my thinking and expanded my vision of what was possible. You see, wealth starts in the mind long before it shows up in your bank account. If your mindset is limited by doubt, fear, or scarcity, your actions will reflect that scarcity. But when you feed your mind with ideas about abundance, discipline, leadership, and growth, you create new neural pathways, new ways of seeing and approaching challenges. This shift in thinking is the foundation of financial success. It's important to be intentional about the content you consume. Surround yourself with ideas that stretch your thinking and inspire action. Whether it's reading a book on financial literacy, listening to a podcast about leadership, or studying biographies of those who have built great fortunes, these inputs shape your worldview. They teach you the language of wealth, the habits of success, and the mindset needed to persevere. In my own life, I saw how consistent learning helped me evolve from someone struggling to make ends meet to someone capable of creating lasting wealth. The discipline of feeding my mind created a ripple effect: better decisions, greater confidence, and an ability to spot opportunities others missed. It's not magic, it's the natural result of daily mental discipline. This habit is also a way to protect yourself from negative influences and limiting beliefs. When you dedicate time each day to learning and growth, you gradually replace doubt and fear with knowledge and confidence. Your thoughts become your allies rather than your enemies. You might be tempted to skip this ritual when mornings are rushed or when you feel tired. But this is precisely when it matters most. The first 20 minutes of your day set the tone for everything that follows. Investing in your mind before anything else ensures you're mentally prepared to face challenges and seize opportunities. Remember, wealth is a reflection of your inner world. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your results. By feeding your mind daily, you're cultivating a mindset that attracts abundance, creates solutions, and drives action. So, make it a non-negotiable habit. Before you feed your body, feed your mind, read, listen, learn, and grow. Over time, you'll notice your thinking becoming sharper, your confidence rising, and your ability to create wealth expanding. The journey from scarcity to millionaire begins with a simple morning ritual: nourishing the mind first. That's where transformation starts. A life worth living is a life worth recording. This is a truth I've lived by for many years. When I first began my journey, I realized that success wasn't just about making money. It was about understanding money, tracking progress, and learning from every step along the way. That's why I developed the habit of keeping a daily wealth journal. It became an essential ritual that helped me transform scattered thoughts and fleeting ideas into clear, focused action. Every morning, before diving into the busyness of the day, I would take time to write. This wasn't just a casual jotting down of notes, but a deliberate process of recording my financial activity, tracking my income, my expenses, and more importantly, capturing the ideas and opportunities that came to mind. Writing forces clarity. When you put pen to paper and make a habit of documenting your thoughts and actions, you develop a level of awareness that simply can't be achieved by keeping things in your head. I found that journaling about money daily, every dollar earned and spent, gave me a clear picture of my financial reality. It kept me honest, accountable, and mindful of how I was using my resources. Money tends to slip away when it's ignored or treated carelessly. But when you record every transaction, you begin to see patterns where you're spending too much, where you can save, and where your money is truly working for you. This awareness is the first step toward mastery over your finances. But the journal wasn't just about numbers. It was also a place to capture opportunities that I spotted, whether in business, investments, or personal growth. Writing down these ideas ensured they didn't slip away. Often inspiration strikes in moments when you least expect it. Without recording those thoughts, they can easily be forgotten. My journal became a treasure trove of possibilities that I could revisit, evaluate, and act upon. Mistakes are inevitable on the path to success, but they are valuable if you learn from them. Each day, I would write down lessons learned from setbacks or errors. This practice helped me transform failure from something to fear into something to embrace and grow from. When you document what went wrong and how you plan to correct it, you turn every mistake into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This daily ritual created a cycle of growth, Recording led to awareness, and awareness led to mastery. The more I wrote, the clearer my vision became. I understood not just where I was financially, but where I was headed. I could measure progress and hold myself accountable to the goals I set. Without this, it's easy to drift, to lose focus, or to repeat the same errors. Keeping a wealth journal is a practice anyone can adopt. It doesn't require fancy tools, just a simple notebook and a commitment to honesty and consistency. Over time, it becomes a mirror reflecting your financial habits and mindset. It reveals your strengths and exposes areas needing improvement. The most successful people I've known are relentless about tracking their progress. They understand that success is not accidental. It is the result of deliberate, consistent action paired with honest reflection. Your journal is your personal accountability partner. It's where you record the seeds of your future wealth. If you want to move from scarcity to abundance, start by recording your journey. Document your money, your ideas, your lessons, and your progress every single day. This simple habit will create a level of awareness that leads to control, and control over your financial life is the foundation of true wealth. A life worth living is a life worth recording. Begin your daily practice today and watch as your awareness turns into mastery. Wages make you a living, profits make you a fortune. This simple but powerful truth changed the way I approached my mornings and my entire financial journey. For many years, I worked hard for a paycheck, believing that steady wages were the only way to secure a comfortable life. But I soon realized that relying solely on wages puts you on a treadmill you run hard but don't get anywhere significant. The real wealth, the kind that lasts and grows, comes from building assets, things that generate income even when you're not actively working. Every morning before I plunged into the tasks of the day, I asked myself a crucial question. What can I build today that will pay me tomorrow? This question shifted my focus from immediate gratification to long-term growth. It forced me to think beyond just showing up to work and earning a salary. Instead, I began to look for ways to create new streams of income, to build something lasting that would work for me while I slept, while I traveled, and while I spent time with family. This could mean many things: starting a side business, developing a digital product, learning a new skill, or exploring an investment opportunity. The key was to always have an eye on creating value that could eventually generate profits independently of my time. Building assets requires discipline, patience, and a willingness to invest in yourself and your ideas, but the rewards are enormous. I remember when I first began building my side business while still working full-time. It wasn't easy. There were early mornings and late nights, moments when I doubted if the effort was worth it. But I kept reminding myself that every small step I took was planting seeds for future financial freedom. Those seeds grew into a steady income stream that eventually surpassed what I earned in wages. That shift gave me the power to make choices based on opportunity, not necessity. It's easy to get caught in the mindset of working solely for wages because it's familiar and feels secure. But security built on a single income source is fragile. Jobs can be lost, hours cut, or pay reduced. The truly wealthy don't rely on one paycheck. They build multiple income streams through assets that appreciate or generate ongoing cash flow. Your morning ritual can become the foundation of this mindset shift. Instead of jumping straight into the daily grind, take a moment to think strategically about your wealth. Ask yourself, how can I use my time today to build something that will pay off in the future? Maybe it's dedicating an hour to learning a skill that can open new doors. Maybe it's researching investment opportunities or reaching out to potential business partners. Whatever it is, the focus is on building, not just earning. This isn't about abandoning your job or responsibilities, it's about adding to them. Working on your future wealth streams alongside your current work creates a powerful leverage effect. Over time, those efforts compound. The money you make from assets can be reinvested to build even more assets. It becomes a cycle of growth and financial freedom. I encourage you to make this a daily habito. Start your day not just by showing up to work, but by consciously building assets that will serve you tomorrow and years to come. Remember, wages will support your present, but profits will create your future. Wealth is not a one-day achievement. It's the result of daily decisions to work on your future, to create value that lasts. Begin today by asking yourself what you can build, and watch how your life begins to shift from scarcity to abundance. Time is more valuable than money. You can always find a way to earn more money, but you can never get back lost time. This simple truth became one of the cornerstones of my approach to wealth and success. In fact, I came to see time as the most precious currency we possess. No matter how much money you accumulate, if you don't protect and manage your time wisely, your potential to grow wealth and live fully will be limited. Just as many people carefully budget their money, I learned to budget my time with the same intentionality. Every morning, I would take a moment to reflect on how I was spending my time and make decisions about what needed to change. I would ask myself, what time wasters am I going to cut out today? And just as importantly, what high-value activities will I focus on that will move me closer to my financial goals? We live in a world filled with distractions, unnecessary meetings, endless social media scrolling, idle gossip, and tasks that don't contribute meaningfully to our goals. These time wasters are like leaks in a bucket. They slowly drain away the hours we could use for building wealth, improving skills, or nurturing relationships. Identifying these leaks every morning and deciding to cut them out became a vital ritual. I remember early in my career, I was overwhelmed with so many small tasks and interruptions that I barely had time for what really mattered. Once I started tracking how I spent my day and prioritized my time, like I did my money, I began to see a transformation. I stopped saying yes to everything and started saying no to the things that didn't align with my priorities. I learned that protecting my time was a form of self-respect and a direct investment in my future success. Focusing on high-value activities means dedicating your best energy to tasks that have the greatest impact. It could be making important calls, creating content, learning new skills, or working on your business's core growth areas. These activities compound over time and lead to financial breakthroughs. Low-value tasks might feel urgent, but often leave you feeling busy without progress. One practical way I protected my time was by blocking out periods in my day for focused work. During these times, I avoided interruptions, turned off notifications, and committed to deep, undistracted effort. It wasn't easy at first. Distractions are persistent, but I kept reminding myself that each protected hour was an investment in my wealth and personal growth. Another important aspect was learning to delegate and automate. I realized that some tasks didn't require my personal attention and could be handed off to others or streamlined through systems. This freed me to spend more time on what only I could: strategic thinking, relationship building, and creating value. When you make time budgeting a daily habit, it changes how you relate to your schedule. You begin to see time as your most precious asset, something you must guard fiercely. You become less reactive and more intentional. You build discipline in managing your minutes just like you build discipline in managing your dollars. If you start today by writing down what time wasters you will cut and what high-value activities you will focus on, you're already taking a step toward reclaiming your most valuable resource. This simple act can shift your entire day, your productivity, and ultimately your financial destiny. Remember, wealth isn't just about how much money you make. It's about how wisely you use your time to create and grow that money. Guard your time like you guard your money, and you'll find that both begin to work harder for you. Time is the foundation upon which all success is built, and protecting it daily is one of the smartest investments you can make. Some of the most important lessons I learned on my journey to success didn't come from business or finance. They came from understanding the critical link between health and wealth. It's often overlooked, but true wealth is not just measured by your bank account or your assets. It's also measured by the quality of your health and the vitality you bring to your daily life. I've seen many people struggle to reach their potential simply because they didn't feel well. A tired, sluggish body limits your energy, focus, and ability to perform at your best. It's hard to build a fortune if your body is constantly dragging you down. Early on, I realized that taking care of my health was not a luxury, it was a necessity. Wealth demands intravesical, mental, and emotional energy, and without it, no amount of money or knowledge will help you sustain success. That's why I made it a daily ritual to prioritize my health first thing in the morning before diving into work or any other obligations. Each morning, I would start with simple movement, a walk, some stretches, or deep breathing exercises. Movement wakes up the body and gets the blood flowing. It stimulates your brain and prepares you mentally for the day ahead. It's amazing how a short walk or a few stretches can shift your mindset from sluggish to sharp. This kind of morning ritual is more than just physical. It's a foundation for mental clarity and productivity. Hydration is another simple but powerful habit. Our bodies are mostly water, and staying hydrated helps with focus, energy, and even mood. I always made sure to drink a glass of water first thing after waking up. It's a small act that sets the tone for taking care of yourself throughout the day. Then there's breakfast. I don't mean just any breakfast, but a nourishing one. I've always believed that what you put into your body in the morning fuels your ability to think clearly and work effectively. A healthy breakfast provides the energy you need to start strong and maintain momentum. Skipping this, or settling for empty calories, only leaves you vulnerable to energy crashes and poor decision-making later on. I remember a time when I neglected these basics, rushing through mornings without proper care for my body. The results were clear: fatigue, less focus, and lower productivity. When I shifted to valuing health as part of my wealth-building process, everything changed. I had more energy to pursue my goals, more resilience to handle setbacks, and more stamina to keep pushing forward. Wealth is not just about money. It's about living a life full of vitality and purpose. When your body feels strong and energized, your mind follows suit. You can make better decisions, seize opportunities, and stay disciplined. You can push through challenges with greater ease because your foundation, your health, is solid. If you want to build lasting wealth, you must treat your body as an asset, not a liability. Start each day by moving, hydrating, and fueling yourself properly. It's not a one-time fix, but a daily commitment. This ritual of caring for your health pays dividends in productivity, focus, and the energy you bring to every wealth-building effort. A tired body can't build a fortune, but a healthy one can conquer mountains. Take care of yourself, because your health is the cornerstone of all your success. Wealth is often misunderstood as merely the accumulation of money, assets, or possessions. But in truth, the deepest, most enduring form of wealth goes far beyond what you hold in your bank account. It's about contribution, what you give back to the world around you. I learned early on that giving is not just a kindness or an act of charity. It's actually the starting point of the receiving process. The more you give, the more you open yourself up to receive, not just materially, but in relationships, opportunities, and personal growth. Think about it. If you focus solely on accumulation, hoarding wealth and resources for yourself, you create scarcity in your mindset. Scarcity thinking isolates you, making you fearful, protective, and closed off. But when you shift your focus to contribution, your entire perspective changes. You begin to see abundance everywhere because you're actively participating in the flow of giving and receiving. Every morning, before you dive into the hustle of your day, ask yourself two simple but powerful questions. How can I add value to others today? And who can I help with my time, my ideas, or my resources? These questions redirect your attention away from just chasing dollars to creating meaningful impact. When you make this a daily habit, you align yourself with the principles of growth, generosity, and abundance. I remember a time when I was struggling financially, feeling like I had very little to give. But I realized that contribution doesn't always mean money. Sometimes it's offering encouragement, sharing knowledge, or simply listening to someone who needs support. I made it a point each day to find a way to add value to someone else's life. And you know what happened? Doors began to open, Relationships deepened, and opportunities showed up unexpectedly. Giving created a powerful ripple effect that came back to me multiplied. Generosity is magnetic. People want to be around those who give freely and genuinely. It builds trust and goodwill. When you contribute, you're not just helping others, you're also building a network of support, influence, and friendship that sustains you through the challenges of building wealth. This principle is not just about altruism, it's a practical strategy for long-term success. The most successful people I've observed are those who see their wealth as a tool to serve others, not just a trophy to display. They invest time and resources into mentoring, philanthropy, and community building. This creates a legacy far beyond money. Remember, contribution and accumulation are not opposites, they are partners. When you give from a place of abundance, you invite abundance into your own life. Generosity keeps your mindset open, your heart full, and your vision clear. It aligns you with the natural laws of prosperity. So today, make it a daily ritual to think contribution first. Seek ways to add value, share your gifts, and support others in their journey. This mindset will transform your relationship with wealth, turning scarcity into abundance and opening the door to a life rich not only in money but in meaning. Giving starts the receiving process. Never forget that. One of the greatest hurdles on the path to lasting wealth is the temptation of instant gratification. We live in a world where everything is available at the click of a button and waiting has become almost obsolete. But I want to share with you a truth that has shaped my entire journey. If you never learn to delay gratification, you'll never have enough to be truly generous or to build real lasting wealth. It's that simple. Success, prosperity, and financial freedom don't come from chasing momentary pleasures. They come from the discipline to wait, to invest wisely, and to prioritize the long term over the short term. Every morning, before you step into the day's demands and distractions, remind yourself of this powerful principle. The choices you make today will either move you closer to your long-term goals or pull you into the quicksand of fleeting satisfaction. When you prioritize short-term pleasure, whether it's impulse spending, skipping necessary work, or avoiding discipline, you're sacrificing your future prosperity for a temporary high. And that high fades fast, leaving you exactly where you started or worse. I've known many people, even myself at times, who fell into the trap of instant gratification. They'd earn money and spend it as fast as it came, convinced that life was about enjoying the present moment fully. But what they failed to see was that this mindset was like trying to fill a bucket with holes it never held. True wealth, the kind that creates security, freedom, and the ability to give generously, demands patience and foresight. Learning to delay gratification means training yourself to say no to impulses and yes to goals. It means making the choice to invest your time, energy, and resources in activities that don't pay off immediately but grow steadily over time. It's choosing to save and invest money instead of spending it on things that don't build your future. It's staying committed to personal development, even when the progress feels slow or invisible. It's about understanding that the reward you seek is a marathon, not a sprint. I remember when I first embraced this idea. It wasn't easy. The urge to spend on instant pleasures was strong, and society's constant push for quick results didn't help. But I started small. I delayed small purchases, set aside a portion of my income regularly, and invested in learning instead of entertainment. Over time, those small acts of self-control multiplied into bigger opportunities and financial growth I never thought possible. This mindset shift also changes your relationship with generosity. When you delay gratification and build wealth patiently, you create a reservoir of resources from which you can give freely and abundantly. You don't have to worry about scarcity or what might come tomorrow because you've prepared. You become someone who can share without fear, knowing your foundation is solid. So every day as you plan and prepare, remind yourself that lasting wealth requires the power to wait, the courage to say no, and the vision to prioritize what truly matters. Instant gratification may feel good momentarily, but discipline and delayed rewards Build a life of abundance, generosity, and freedom. This is a principle that once mastered will serve you not just in money, but in every area of your life. Remember, the ability to delay gratification is the cornerstone of wealth. Embrace it fully, and your future will thank you. There's a saying that the only way to truly get ahead is to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. It's a principle that has shaped every step of my journey from humble beginnings to financial freedom, and it's something I want you to understand deeply. Developing a strong work ethic and a relentless hustle isn't just about putting in hours. It's about dedicating focused, intentional effort to improving yourself every single day. That kind of hard work compounds like interest on money. It grows and grows until it becomes unstoppable. Every morning is an opportunity. Before the world wakes up, before distractions set in, you have a choice to rise early and put in the work on yourself. This might mean sharpening a skill, studying a market, writing down your financial plans, or strategizing how to grow your assets. These moments of dedicated effort build a foundation for wealth that no paycheck alone can provide. When you commit to working harder on yourself, you're investing in your ability to create value, to seize opportunities, and to build something lasting. I can't emphasize enough how much working harder on yourself pays off over time. When I first started, I wasn't lucky or particularly gifted. I simply made a habit of rising early, reading, learning, and planning while others slept or wasted time on distractions. That extra work on myself opened doors and gave me confidence to take bold steps. I learned that while many people work hard for their jobs, the most successful people work hard on their mindset, their knowledge, and their skills. And this is the key to turning effort into real wealth. This kind of work ethic means you're not just spinning your wheels, you're focused, you're intentional about how you spend your energy. Every hour you dedicate to growth multiplies your ability to generate income and build assets. It's not about being busy. It's about being productive and purposeful. And remember, hustle isn't about reckless busyness. It's about disciplined, consistent action that moves you toward your financial goals.